Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality, and today I'm going to start making my fall and November gratitude journal. If you haven't seen the unboxing, I received this really cute pumpkin spice kit from Hubman and Chubgirl. Let me show you their card is in here. I already did an opening, but this is their website right here. And they reached out and wanted to send me a kit. I picked out the pumpkin spice kit, and it came with lots of different stickers and washi. Some little, these are die cut stickers. There was a really fun pin, an enamel pin. They have hundreds of different themes, seasons, holidays, anything you want to use for your traveler's notebook, a journal, or a planner. So I thought I would just use this pumpkin spice in a gratitude journal. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make my journal using the Sizzix Scoreboard XL by Eileen Hull. It's a journal die. It makes a cover, and you can also use the die to make the inside journal like signatures, I guess. So this is like a traveler's notebook. So I already cut out my pieces. I'm going to be using this spiced pumpkin. It's a Craft Smart from Michaels. It was one of the hot buys way back when they used to carry hot buys. And so it's a really fun paper pad. I picked out some papers in here that I thought would go well with the stickers. And I already cut out some of my papers, ones that I thought I would use, and then if I need to add on, I will do that. So let's just go ahead and get started. What I plan on doing today is making the cover and also put together some of the signature cover pages. I want to be able to go in daily during the month of November and write a verse in there on some kind of thankfulness verse. And then also if I want to write anything else, like things that I'm thankful for that day, I might go ahead and find a month, like a daily gratitude journal prompt list or something like that. If I find one, I'll go ahead and link it down below for you so that you can follow along as well. I've never done this before. I just thought this would go well with something like that, and we'll see. So let's just go ahead and get started with my journal. I'm starting by gluing my scrapbook paper on top of the chipboard. I'm just using some tacky glue, and I picked out two different scrapbook papers, one for the cover and one for the inside of the covers. So I'm going to do the outside's the same as the inside, so I'll put the fall print on the outside and then the striped orange print on the inside. Trying to keep the holes lined up as best that I can. And then I'll go ahead and do the back cover. If you wanted to use double-sided tape on this, that would be fine. But I always just like to use the tacky glue. Now, when I did put this together, if I had used just a little bit thinner of chipboard, it would have been easier to fold the spine parts. I tried to use my bone folder and my scoreboard to try and do this a little bit easier. When the die does have the scoring parts on there, but with using the thicker chipboard, it just made it a little bit more difficult. But I eventually got it to where I could crease it. So it was fine. I would just suggest to use a thinner chipboard, and I don't even know what the thickness of my chipboard was, but also having a thicker cardstock, one of the cardstock with the leaves was a thicker cardstock, so that also added to the weight and the thickness of this. In the end, I thought it looked fine, but just giving you suggestions in case you were to make one. So now I'm putting glue on the outside of this one. At first I lined up the two ends to each other, but then I realized that was covering up the holes. So I needed to line the holes up. So I moved them apart like that and then moved them out. So there I have it stuck down there. And what I did was I used some rickrack to cover that up. And also it's a little bit thicker of a seam because of my chipboard. So if you use just regular cardstock to do this, it's not such a drastic like seam. So anyway, it all turned out. It was fine. Now I'm using pieces from the kit. It was the backing to the stickers, and I cut that to make a strip going horizontally, and then I used some scrapbook paper to make a vertical strip, and then I'm going through and using more of the packaging to decorate. I cut the pumpkin spice into two different sections, and I'm just going through here and trying to decide what my layout's going to be. I decided I need some green cardstock to accent, just to carry through the green that's in the sticker, or actually it's in some of the stickers, but in the packaging of that little pumpkin it has the green leaves. So I'm going to mount that onto some green cardstock and then mount my scrapbook paper strip onto the green cardstock. And then I also decided to mount my pumpkin spice words onto the green cardstock. Doing this adds more dimension, and also it carries the green throughout. So now I'm going to go ahead and glue everything down now that I know what my layout's going to be. Going to add some rickrack to this. You'll see as I go along here that I do pull up that orange strip and add my vertical strip underneath. And then I decided to add some of this washi. This washi is really cute, and it's a thicker washi. It kind of feels like it's a vinyl, but I really love that there. And then I pull that up, add glue to this strip and I'm going to put it behind the orange strip. Since the rickrack was a little thick, I just decided to put the glue on the middle of that little medallion to stick onto the rickrack. So that makes it a little bit more dimensional. Now I'm gluing some rickrack on the side to kind of cover up that thick seam. I'm going to make a pocket, and this is the remainder of that packaging, so I'm going to, I actually wanted the pocket to have a little bit of dimension so it wasn't just flat and it would be easier to put things in. I used my scoreboard and scored the sides at 1/2 inch, and now I'm trimming the corners just at a little bit of an angle, and then I'll fold those in. I'm going to put some washi down at the bottom to cover up the wording there. And then I'm going to pick a sticker to put on the front. I decided to take it from one of the sheets. Now I'm going to use my glue and glue down the flaps. I'm going to move on and make my signature covers. So I'm taking this green, I folded one of them on the spine piece, and then I cut the other spine piece off, and then I'll do the same with the striped paper. I realized that one side was a little bit shorter. I think when I used the die I didn't have the paper lined up, so I'm going to have to add a little bit of scrap to the end here. So I'm adding this strip of green at the bottom. That way I don't have to waste another piece of scrapbook paper. Now I'm going to glue my two pieces together. And that makes the cover for one of my signatures. And then I'll go ahead and glue the other one. And then I'm just going to trim off that extra piece and kind of make it even down at the bottom. Now on the back I wanted to cover up the seams as well on this, so I used the other washi that comes with the kit. This has some pumpkins and pumpkin pie and a yellow background. This one's more of a traditional washi tape. It's just a little bit thinner as opposed to the other one that was a thicker one. So now I decided to use that as the front. So I'm going to glue down this medallion. This was a part of the die set. And then I'll use a sticker to go on that. And then I had this scrap piece left from the packaging, so I'm going to add in another sticker on that one and mount that on the green cardstock. Now I have these pads of paper. They're colored lined papers. I'll try and put the link for them down below. I purchased them off of Amazon. So I'm going to pull 8 sheets of green and 8 sheets of orange. And then I'll just cut them down to fit inside each of the books. Fold them in half and then trim them to the width. I believe this die makes, I think it's 4 inches wide or 4.5. I think it's 4.5 inches wide by 9, I believe. Now I'm going to put my elastic in there. So I went through the top left hole and down through the bottom, and then I'm going over along the bottom and then up, and then I'm going back in to that first hole, kind of overlapping each one, and do the same with the other, and then tie it at the top. So that makes 2 elastics inside to stick my 2 signatures in. So all I need to do is slide my signatures. Make sure that the ends are tucked down in there. You can trim those off if you want. And then put in that one. So the last thing I wanted to do was add some ribbon to the outside of mine. So I picked this white and orange polka dot ribbon, and that was a Celebrate It or Ofray, I can't remember. That might be the same. Alright guys, so I really love how this turned out. There is a specific way with this die to put in the stretchy elastic so that you could pull the elastic over to cover this, but I don't like elastic wrapped around my books, so I just did it the way that I showed you, just to make the 2 strands on the inside to hold my journals. I could go in and add a 3rd little notebook on the inside, but for now I just need 2. And as you saw, I did put 8 pieces of the lined paper in each one. And as I decorate my book each day, I'll add in things probably to make it more junk journal style, or I may not. I'm not sure. I think this is just a really cute and cutesy little journal, and I think it will be fun to add in the stickers and washi from the kit each day, along with some journaling and writing my verses in there. So yeah, hopefully this inspires you. If you want to check out Hubman and Chubgirl, I will have a link down below, as well as a coupon code for 15% off your order. Alrighty, so if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. This is Kim with Creative Crafticality. Bye, God bless.